What is up, everybody? Welcome back yet again to the Next Gen Geek YouTube channel. I'm, of course, your host, Darius, and this is going to be the new video on the new Superman animated series, My Adventures with Superman. Now, to be frank, first going into this, I was a bit skeptical. I was a bit like, what are they gonna do? And at first, I couldn't really tell, I didn't really know much about it. But then when the first trailer dropped, I was like, oh, I like the anime influence, I like the art style, I like the animation. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep my eyes open. And so every once in a while, I watch some of the stuff that they've been promoting. And so I've been really interested in a new Superman animated series. It's been a while since we had one, or at least, in the realm of the original Superman animated series, Batman the animated series, and I do know, and we all know, there's going to be a new Batman animated series called Batman the Caped Crusader, and that I am interested in. But with Superman, I think this was new. This was refreshing. This is a new start. And I'm going to be frank, I really freaking like it. I'm really enjoying the animated series so far. The first two episodes are officially out online, or not out online, but are officially out on the Max streaming service. It was HBO Max, now it's Max. So it's out on Max now, and it's also on Adult Swim. It will be premiering on Adult Swim. It is on the Adult Swim YouTube channel, so you can take a look at the show. But what I really like about My Adventures with Superman is that we're not really getting a full origin story of him, as a kid struggling or anything like that. It is an origin story, but it's told and visualized in a really different and unique way. And I think that's the best aspect of the series, is really the visual style. It's the art. It's the animation. It is very anime influence, I think you can obviously tell. And also at the same time, it feels very classic, but also modern and reimagined for modern audiences, modern children. But also, I think if you're just a Superman fan in general, you'll appreciate some of the things that they're actually doing. And one of those things is just how heartfelt and how heartwarming and wholesome this series is coming across so far. I think them really pushing Clark into the world of reporting first, I think I really like. And him being more of a reporter and not necessarily what we got from Man of Steel, where he started out really more or less sort of just a fish out of water trying to find himself. He is trying to find himself in My Adventures with Superman, but it definitely feels more grounded. It definitely feels very classic. And I can understand why Jack Quaid went to All-Star Superman to get inspiration to when voicing this character, because I definitely felt some of those moments from All-Star Superman. I definitely felt moments where it did remind me of Superman the animated series. And to me, I think that's a big positive. One of the other things I really did like, and I didn't expect to like, was the comedy. The witty banter. I like it. I like how Lois is headstrong. She's in over her head on things, and as much as she wants the story, there's sort of a lack of other people, sort of, but it's not out of ill intent, but it's just she wants the story, she wants to get the job done, sort of thing. And I really do like Lois's character, and so far the trajectory of where she might be going within the series. Jimmy Olsen, I did not expect to like as much as I did. He's definitely the comedy relief of the show. And you can tell, and there's just moments where he's kind of just clueless, or he's just wandering about what's out in the world, and he has a heavy fixation on aliens and sci-fi, and I do like that. Again, there's a charming nature to the show that I think beautifully captures Superman at his core as well. He is a charming, heartwarming dude who wants to do the right thing, and I like how with Clark in the show, we really focus in on him being Clark, and we focus in on him basically, essentially, and he even says, "Who am I? Who am I supposed to be?" You have Lois, who's already giving you a name as Superman when you've outed yourself to the world now. So now it's kind of like, what does Superman mean, sort of thing. And it's not deconstruction in the way Snyder does it, but it's more deconstruction, and I think more or less the identity of Superman from Clark's perspective, of necessarily, I know who I am as Clark Kent, I know what I want to do, sort of thing. as Clark Kent. I know I want to be a reporter. So I like that they took the reporter aspect and made it in tune with not just the overall narrative that they're doing, because we do see some familiar faces, even some villains I do not want to spoil. But I like that is that detective reporter driven of not just reporting the stories, but also how the stories are connected to him, and how the stories also connect to him on a wholesome, on a level, on a more human level. And I really do appreciate that, because now it's not just a matter of reporting the events, the bigger picture of what's happening, the tech, the villains, but it's reporting on himself and on his character arc, literally. And I really do enjoy that. Again, it's a charming nature to it and a heartfelt nature to it that I thoroughly enjoy. One thing I don't like is the suit. Not that the suit is bad, but I can't do the shorts, man. I cannot do the shorts on Superman. I'm not big on the shorts anymore. I'm just not. The S, I'm still getting used to on this chest. It is a very different design. It's hard to tell that it's an S, but I do appreciate the differentiation they're trying to do. And again, even Clark as a character, he's very different. Again, it feels classic but modern. And that's something I've been wanting from a new Superman animated series for a while. And I think the first 2 episodes really show, I think, the writing capability and obviously the art and animation. And like I said, I think the visual style is definitely going to be a big selling point for a lot of people. Second to that is definitely going to be the characters. I think they did a really good job of differentiating between all the characters, all their goals, and this and that and the other. And I find it really fascinating and how they even work together and how it's kind of feel like a mishmash, but a beautiful chemistry all combined. And so that's something I was not expecting. Again, I kind of went in with low expectations. I didn't expect much from an animated show. I was like, it's gonna be on Adult Swim. It definitely looks more kid friendly, but there are those tender moments that I do appreciate. There's definitely comedy. So if you're not fond of, let's say, kid comedy to a certain degree, may not be for you, but there are moments where they do tackle and be serious for like a nice, good moment, and you just know it. You know it's a serious moment, and they don't really shy away to that or try to crack a joke into it. At least in the first 2 episodes, we'll have to wait and see what happens later. But overall, my first experience, my first impressions of Superman the Animate, my adventures, I'm already calling Superman, my adventures with Superman is I am really liking it. I think a lot of people should keep their eye out on this and at least give it a try, give it a shot. And I think there's a much mature story later in the series than we expect, or we are to expect. I think there's a lot of interesting things that they're going to go for, and I'm really curious into what those directions are, especially coming off of the first 2 episodes that I think start off really strong for this show, and how it feels different from other, even DC animated shows, and even how it still differentiates from the classic Superman the Animated Series. So those are my quick thoughts and my first impressions of my adventures with Superman. If you guys got a chance to watch it, what did you think about it? Are you liking it? Are you digging it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't know, Meta also released a new app called Threads that is their rival competitor to Twitter, and Next Gen Geek is on Threads, so look out for that post as well. Basically, I think by the time this comes out, it'll also be on Threads. Join in on the conversation on there as well as we talk more about our theories and what they might do with the series going forward. And without further ado, before I sign off, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as more content is on the way. I'm happy to have watched my adventures with Superman to get this out to you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video.